get you to be this tinier version of yourself, and you think that tinier version of yourself is going to make you happy. We learned that the hard way that it's not.
Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not so secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom. Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Time for Mom podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl. Today, I'm super excited to bring you some guests, a mother-daughter team, Coryn Brown and Crysan Clay. They're a health coaching duo and the voices behind Her Healthy Body podcast. With over 20 years of combined experience working with women both in person and online, they specialize in strength training, protein-focused nutrition, and helping women rebuild their health after years of diet culture and extremes, all while keeping God at the center of the journey. Today's podcast, we're going to be focusing on losing weight without losing yourself, becoming obsessed, or getting consumed by comparison. And I brought these ladies on because I think they can help you out here. So, welcome to the show.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us, Cheryl.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys on. I've enjoyed getting to know you a little bit over the last week. And yeah, let's dive into it.
Sounds good.
As moms, it's super easy to get caught up on becoming obsessed with our mom bods because they're just not what they were. Nothing is the same. When you are trying to get back into a healthier state, how do you keep a healthy mindset while you're on that journey?
Without losing yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do it for the right reasons. You can't do it for just aesthetics. That's where you can lose yourself because that's where all of those problems come in of comparing up to other mothers, constantly looking in the mirror, constantly looking and feeling like, oh, my body used to look like this, now it looks like that. Health and fitness for us is making you a better person as far as like a better mom, anybody to show up for anything, you have to have your health. If you don't have your health, it's hard to show up for everybody. And that's now you're a mom. And this is what we have to do. We have to show up for our kids. We have to show up for our husbands. We have to show up. And then mostly you have to show up for yourself. And this is, I think, where we lose ourselves is I'm too concentrated on my looks. I'm too concentrated on what I look like before I had the baby. I'm concentrated on what I used to do before I had the baby. And instead of embracing the moment and concentrating on me and what's going to make me the best person, I think we just lose ourselves because we're caught up in what we always say, what the world thinks we should do. And if you go online, the world thinks you need to be 6 weeks starting to work out and getting back into your body. And, look, I can fit back into my jeans that I wore before I had the babies. Going to look online is the worst thing to do.
When it comes to keeping a healthy mindset around this, when clients come to us and they start talking about their goals, I can tell right away who's going to be more successful right off the bat, just because they talk more about how they want to feel, how they want to improve their health compared to, I want to be this number on the scale, or I want to be this size of clothes. When I have someone come to us that has a goal like that, we know that we have to do some extra work on our hand to get them to a point of realizing this isn't all about just our looks. This is so much more when it comes to our health and how we're showing up every single day.
Oh my goodness, because yeah, body composition changes so much post childbirth. There's no comparison on what your body even looks like.
Right. I completely agree.
That kind of touches on one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Are there any other warning signs that you've seen with your clients of, okay, this person, we need to do some mindset shifts to get them to a place where they're going to be able to see the success in a healthy way?
In my clients, and I can just put myself in this situation as well, my mindset shift had to go from concentrated on my looks. That was the worst thing, because that made me become obsessed. Everything that I ate, everything that I did, how much movement I was getting, and it just became like the whole day revolved around my health and fitness. I thought it was health and fitness, Cheryl, but it wasn't. It was aesthetics, it was looks. And I convinced myself that it was health and fitness, but it wasn't. And then we always said this, like the workouts too, they became obsessive punishments. And I think because I didn't like who I was in my body, that when I worked out, I felt like it should feel like a punishment. And that actually gave me like joy. Is that sick? That is not, that is not what a workout should look like. With our clients too, we have to convince them, listen, your workout doesn't have to kill you. This is something that should give you energy, not take it away.
Yeah, basically, what she's explaining, what she did, and what a lot of people go through is they're just trying to control everything about themselves. They're trying to control it with the way that they're eating, how little they're going to be eating, how restrictive their diet is, or how many workouts they can get in within a week. It's all control to then get you to be this tinier version of yourself, and you think that tinier version of yourself is going to make you happy. We learned that the hard way, that it's not. It's not something that is going to fulfill you and give you the confidence that you think it will when you're starting off, because I know so many moms right now are feeling so uncomfortable in their body, and they're looking at other moms that maybe are a little smaller than them and thinking, I would just feel so much better if I looked like that. We're searching for the wrong things for happiness, and we're making it about our looks.
And we got there. Both of us got there. We look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, look how tiny I was. But I didn't see it. When I was there in the moment and I, did lose the weight, I kept thinking, first of all, I was kind of panicked because I did it in such an abusive way. I think that I'm like, how am I going to keep this up? And how am I going to go further? And the second thing was, I actually thought I still was heavy. So it's really unhealthy, and it's really, like she said, like Coryn said about the control. I think when it came down to it, having control made me feel like I was in control, and I just realized when I did everything wrong and I got to that place, I was not in control. And this is where God came in. And he came in a big way.
Do you want to expound on that?
Well, because it was just so, my gosh, when I can release the control part of my life. So when things are out of control, I have a type of personality where Coryn calls me A-type personality, where all the ducks have to be in a row. Like I have to have everything perfect all the time. And I realized when other parts of my life were out of control and I was going through hard things, that's the more I tried to take control. And the more I tried to take control, the more my life was falling apart. I could just see it unraveling. It was happening over and over. And my health, because I was trying to take control over my looks, and I was a personal trainer and I had a lot of people looking to me like, I felt I was judged because, I judged others. I judged other people like, well, I'm not going to take her class because I don't like the way she looks. I'm not going to follow her program because I don't like the way she looks. I did that to other people. So, of course, I did it to myself. And anybody who came in to take my class, anybody who wanted to take my advice, I better look perfect, or why are they going to listen to me? So I got very control. And the more I tried to take control, and I think a lot of people can resonate with this, the more you try to lose weight, the more you gain. You do, because you become obsessed with it. Instead of letting the weight loss become the side effect, not the goal. If you are trying to control, you're trying to control the weight loss part, and it doesn't work. Now, I've had a few I like the way that you always say it, storms in my life that came about. They'd be flashing on that radar, severe storms take cover in the basement. And that's what happened in my life in the last 3 years. Very severe things that happened. And I realized I don't have control. And it was over and over and over again that I just felt like this pull of, I need someone else to take control. And finally, and I'm a Christian, I have been, but I've been a very lukewarm Christian, not a very active Christian. I really wasn't seeking him. But by God, when those storms happen, you start to seek. And I was seeking, but he came to me. I had some very revealing things. I was in prayer. I had a lot of warmth come over me. I had a lot of things come over me that just gave me such peace. And I just kept searching for that peace. And the more I searched for that peace in the word, in prayer, going to church, the more I searched, the more peace I got. And the more peace I got, the more I realized I can give the control to him. And once I gave the control to him, my gosh, my eyes opened and I looked and I was like, I'm doing everything wrong by trying to take control. And as soon as I released that control and started to like take care of my health the way that I honestly honored my body, loved my body, so it wasn't exercise out of punishment anymore. It was exercise out of love. It was going for a walk out of love for my body, preparing my food out of love for my body. All that, the side effects were happening in a way that like I couldn't believe, in a much healthier, sustainable way and more peaceful way, but it wasn't like searching for it anymore. That's health and fitness with peace that I never thought I could experience it, but it was only because I started to really search my faith and see how God saw me. And as soon as I saw how God saw me, and I still struggle with that, I always ask him, please let me see me the way you see me, because I'm very hard on myself. And I think we all are. But if I could see myself through his eyes, there's such a peace that comes over that, and I can release control. He's always telling me to release control to him. And every day I have to say, Holy Spirit, you got the day. You take control, because I'll mess it up.
One of the easiest ways to see yourself the way that God does is to see yourself as your grandbabies see you.
Or my daughter too. Like I so many times I would think, how would I want Coryn to be treated by this person? How would I want Coryn to treat her body? And when I think that, my grandbaby, her, you're right. That is the most perfect way to look at it. Now I see it.
It amazes me at how much my kids love my imperfections or what I see as imperfections to the point of
Mhm.
like, hey, mommy, when do I get stretch marks? You'll
Oh,
get your turn.
really?
That's so sweet.
You'll have your turn.
I love children.
Yes, they're
So
so,
innocent.
so cute. How do you help women once you get their mindset shifted to you're being healthy for the right reasons? How do you keep them in that mindset? I mean, it's so easy, like, ooh, I'm down an inch or I'm down 5 pounds to just start obsessing again. How do you help them keep from falling back into those traps, those old mindsets as they start to see success?
So you're saying then how do you, sorry, Cheryl, you were saying how do you keep with like the healthy mindset after
Yeah,
like,
to
okay,
keep from falling back into that obsession.
okay, got it. I would say with that, you have to just set expectations for yourself because if you're doing it the quick way, if you're doing it the way that you are trying to lose weight as fast as possible, you are going to see results. And then most women, when they start to see results, they want to keep pushing for more. So they think that they should restrict more, they should do more workouts because they want to keep it going. What can I keep up? Not just like, oh, I'm going to start running and go every single day. This is, I'm going to start maybe moving my body for 10 minutes a day. Can I keep that up? Like, you have to be so realistic with yourself because busy seasons are going to happen. So many women that we see are so motivated in the beginning when they first start because they want to make this change desperately. But then life really does get in the way. I mean, moms are just busy all the time. And when that life does get in the way, the first thing we're going to put on the back burner is us taking care of ourselves. So, whenever we make all of these changes at once and go for that quick weight loss, we're going to see quick weight loss, but then we're going to end up stopping and then gaining it all back. And then feeling like, well, health and fitness just doesn't work for me. Like, and then we're just not going to do anything about it. So instead, whenever you actually give those expectations for yourself of what can I do a year from now? And can I be realistic with this even in the busiest season of my life? Can I still keep up with what I just said that I'm going to do? That's how you're going to be able to stay in that mindset instead of going back to obsessing.
I love the year-long goals. They have helped so much.
Mhm. Like you're not like always in a rush and it's just like it feels like you're more at peace. And I think that's what health and fitness needs to be too. Like this should feel peaceful. This shouldn't feel like it's really hard and you have to white knuckle it all the time.
So I don't know if this question is going to make a whole lot of sense, but what would you say a healthy definition of health would be for a mom after all the body changes and the hormone changes and the body shape changes? What would you say a good, healthy definition of overall health would be?
Strength. That focus on feeling strong pretty much takes care of everything else that you're going to do. Having a good energy, having like clarity in your mind, having, I don't know what other,
Feeling good.
just feeling good, all stems from if your goal is to be strong. Being in shape feels good because you feel like you can conquer the world when you feel strong and you feel like you have, your strength. You're not so we are going to be tired, don't get me wrong. I love to feel strong, I do. But there's times where I don't get sleep. I get it, you know what I mean? But I bounce back a lot better. And, if I was my old self who was starving myself all the time for diet to lose weight, who was working out hours upon hours, I wasn't building muscle that way because I was pretty much just tearing it down because I honestly thought cardio was going to get me to my weight loss goals. And I think in the end, everyone says I want to be healthy because I was this person as well. I want to be healthy. I do everything for health. In the back of our minds, we just want to see that scale goes down. We just want to see weight loss. That's really in the back of our minds what we want. But strength won't make that scale go down. That's not my goal. But the body composition that comes with strength is the most sustainable thing. And that's why we chase strength, because when you have muscle on your body, the scale's not going to go down because muscle is heavier than fat. So you can, like we were just talking about this the other day, I can be 150 pounds and wear a size 10 pant, or I could be 150 pounds and wear a size 4. So the scale doesn't matter. And I know that's what we chase all the time. But if we start chasing strength, then everything healthy follows. There's no more abusive things. There's nourishing the body. There's chasing muscle. There's lifting heavy things. There's no more hour-long boot camps going to run 5 miles, the things that tear down our bodies. So that's why we go for strength, because it builds our bodies up. Not in the way that women think. Both of us were part of that fitness world where you saw those women that literally their arms look like men's arms. You will never, when you chase strength like that, unless you start taking some supplemental drugs, like it's impossible for us. We don't have enough testosterone in us to get an arm like that. I've bench pressed 50-pound dumbbells like they were nothing. And you would look at me and think, well, she's not like big and muscular. I was strong, but I will never gain that muscle because I'm not taking drugs or pounding 5,000 calories a day to get bulky.
If society could change and us women could think, instead of what the number on the scale says, how we can get stronger, how we can actually build muscle, we would be so much healthier as a society. Because when we have more muscle on our body, our hormone profile is going to be so much healthier and so much more balanced. We're going to have more energy. We're not going to worry about whenever we're getting older and our bones are starting to slowly deteriorate, because I believe it's the age of 30. That's whenever we start to lose muscle naturally as women and our bones start to thin, and that can lead to the osteoporosis. And this is why whenever we're always shooting for skinny, by the time that you could be 60 years old and you don't have much muscle on your body, one fall, break a hip, and you could be bedbound. We've talked to nurses that have said, I've seen 90-year-olds walking through the hallway looking very healthy and independent. And then I've seen 60-year-olds bedbound. And you can tell who's had a healthier lifestyle versus who hasn't focused on building muscle.
I know there's a lot of doctors out there that will say, we don't have an obesity problem. We have a sarcopenia problem. We are under muscled is what a lot of the problem is. And then the other bonus of having more muscle on your body is you can actually eat more. Your metabolism is going to be stroked. And this is why men can decide to go on a diet and within 1 week see results, like just cutting back a little bit, where women decide to go on a diet, look at a muffin and gain 5 pounds. we don't have muscle. And a lot of sugar, a lot of calories get stored in and the bigger the muscle are, the more you can store the energy in those muscles instead of the fat cells. So that's another reason. Its a metabolism will be a lot higher and you can enjoy a lot more food without gaining weight. Who doesn't want to do that?
Right? Yeah. Keep up
Hmm.
with my kids.
Hmm.
That actually kind of touched on one of the questions that I had of, I mean, I'm guilty of it all the time of going into like Costco and seeing this really skinny mom with like 5 kids. I'm just like, how? But how much damage would you say that that actually does? Because I'm com like for me, it'd be comparing myself, my Germanic self, to someone who is probably not Germanic. How much damage does that do to our mindsets?
Yeah. Well, when you look at that woman that's teeny tiny and she has 5 kids and she's bebopping around, I used to go up to that type of woman whenever we were working at a gym and I'd be like, what do you do? Like, I just had to ask. And their answer 9 out of 10 times would be like, I never dieted. I never did the thing that is causing all of us women to lose weight, gain it back, lose weight, gain it back, and just feel like we're so stuck right now. When we don't actually try to diet, when we just live healthy, eat whole foods, move our body, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have much of a issue with your health and your body. First, I just wanted to like mention that most of these people that you see that you just like admire, most of them aren't even dieting. Now, what that is doing to your mindset, it's the comparison. I struggled with comparison for a very, very long time, especially being on social media for a very long time. I just always looked at these women, and that was now my picture of health. When you go on Instagram and you see all of these women with six-pack abs and the tightest body, and you just look down and you see your boobs are sagging and you just feel like you can like see all your rolls. And you're like, how do I get like that? Well, now you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're putting that person that had that six pack or that perfect body in your head and you're thinking that's health. So even whenever you are trying to eat healthy, you're moving your body, you might be seeing some sort of change. You actually now can't see it because all you can see is that girl with the six pack or that girl with just the perfect body. So that's where comparison is the thief of joy when it comes to your body and your body image in general. It can be very dangerous and then it turns into an obsession and it turns into body dysmorphia.
And there's also another aspect of that, Cheryl, when you do the comparison thing, because when I worked at the gym at my lowest weight, at the tiniest that I ever was, I had so many members come in and want to look like me. They want to, they just want to, like, how do you get so skinny? How do you do this? How do you do that? They didn't see behind the scenes all of the problems that I had. I was losing my hair. I was sleeping 2 hours a night. I was eating 700 calories a day. I could not digest any food whatsoever. I was dying on the inside. So the next time you see that skinny mom, you don't know what she's done to get it too. So this is why we can't compare ourselves. Everybody has a story. Everybody has their personal struggles. And I know there's one thing I always think of it when I do find myself comparing, and I think it's a good way to think. Would I want to swap my problems for that person's problems? I know my problems and I know I can handle my problems and I know God's with me with my problems, but I don't know their problems and I don't want anything to do with their problems because he didn't set me up to handle their problems. You know what I mean? So that helps me when I catch myself because we all do it. I mean, we all look at somebody and go, whoa. I mean, I find myself trying to check them out twice. Like, they're built perfectly. What do they do? I mean, we all do it. We just have to like bring ourselves to be like, I don't know that woman and I don't know what she goes through. I don't want her problems. And I know my problems and I know God will help me with my problems. And that just helps me with comparison.
That's so good. Yeah, you're right. We don't know their problems.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. And I mean, I'll pray for them if they want me to, but I don't want their problems.
One of the most fascinating things that I found on my own health journey from the birth of my youngest is how no matter how much weight I lose, my body essentially looks the same. It's just absolutely fascinating. Like I keep thinking, this next 5 pounds, because my scale broke, probably one of the best things that ever happened was my scale broke. 160 pounds, doesn't matter who's on it. I'm like, yeah, the next 5 pounds of cellulite might start to go away, or the rolls will be smaller, but essentially my body never changes. The
That
outline just might look a little smoother in my clothes.
That's typical weight loss.
Yeah.
That you're right. That is typical weight loss. If a woman is the scale's going down, but they don't see a lot of change, what you're actually doing is just taking who you are because you're losing both fat and muscle. That's the problem. So you're not seeing the body composition, and this is why we love strength. Because if that scale doesn't move and you're putting on muscle, you'll be putting on muscle, losing fat at the same time, and that can happen for some people. It's not common, but it can happen, especially for newbies, people who are just starting to work out. We see that a lot. But for the most part, it's more body composition, and that's when your jeans fit better. You could see you'll have people, more or less, you'll have people telling you you look like you lost weight, even if the scale doesn't move. That's body composition.
Right. And that's what, 2 years down the road, I'm starting to notice is that there is a major body composition change, which is, it's neat. It's just not what I expected. You always expect to get the six pack or to have less than four rolls when you sit down, but they're still
Right.
there. They're just a little thinner.
Well, the good way that you're doing it, if you're saying it's taken you a few years, but you're seeing it happening, that's actually very good news because that's the sustainable way. If you
Right.
were to have a baby and 6 months later you lost a whole bunch of weight, well, you can just pretty much guarantee you're probably lost a lot of muscle and you're going to gain that weight back. So, yeah,
Slow and steady
slow
is
and
going to win the race.
yeah, that is 100% right. You don't
And
want it fast.
no, I know I've from watching females in my family struggle with diet culture and losing the weight and it coming back with vengeance. It's like, yeah, it's not worth it.
And it makes it harder to lose the weight again every time you do that. And basically, I always think of it this way. I've done this yo-yo dieting thing for so long, and every single time it happens, it's harder to lose weight the next time because you're losing more muscle, and the muscle is the key.
Something that I wanted to circle back around to was the strength of just, I don't know, maybe affirm it, maybe not. I ended up on year 2 of PT because I'd lost so much muscle that injuries that I didn't know existed had started to manifest, I think is the right word.
Yeah.
So thank you for focusing on that because when we do let our bodies go, you can't
Yeah.
serve your family. I couldn't set my toddler down without almost crying because my body hurt so bad.
Do you know that you can fight cancer better when you have muscle in your body? The more
That's
muscle
not,
you have, you can fight cancer better, right? And it's just, I think we underestimate the power of muscle. Not that we're looking to get big muscles, that's not it. We won't. We just want strong, healthy muscles.
yeah. Well, I'm one of
And
those females who can get big muscles because of my genetics. So makes it hard to find jeans that fit my thighs, but
muscle should, I mean, it really should be more smaller and dense.
oh, I've got a dense body type. Don't you worry about that. Put me in a bathtub, I'll drown.
No, there are, like, I will say, Cheryl, if you do feel like you gain muscle quicker than others, I'm jealous, because there's a lot of women that struggle to, like, I mean, me personally, I have to eat a lot in order to gain muscle. And sometimes where women really stop because they get scared is because this is not like when we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to eat as little as possible. When you're trying to build muscle, you got to eat. And this is where your metabolism is going to get higher. So there are so much benefits to eating more. We don't want to always be eating 1,200 calories. I mean, that's how much a toddler should be eating. But when you are going through that cycle of learning to eat more, learning to nourish your body more to build that muscle, that's when things can start to feel like, oh, my jeans are getting a little bit tighter. I need to stop. And that's when people end up stopping because they just think, I'm getting too bulky, instead of actually trusting the process to keep going, to then once they get to a point where they're eating at a healthy point again, they're full and satisfied after their meals, they're working on building muscle. When they go to lose weight again, it's going to be more body fat than muscle. And this is when you're going to see so many changes. And this is whenever you're going to be like, I'm so glad I stuck with this, because now weight loss isn't difficult for me anymore. I'm never at these plateaus. And even though I felt really uncomfortable in my jeans for a little bit, because think of like I'm building muscle and then I have a little bit of fat over top of it. So that's what a lot of people are feeling. And that's where a lot of women stop, because they get scared of it. That makes sense.
The person listening right now might be like, well, I am at 1,200 calories and I am 50 pounds overweight and I can't add anything. If I add anything, I'm just going to keep, I'm just going to get weight and I'm too scared. That's very honest worry. If I'm overweight, I'm not adding calories. The good thing is when you add protein is not an energy source, so it doesn't get stored. When we bump our clients up in calories, we do it very small, like maybe 50 calories here or there, but we do it in protein. And because most people are not eating enough protein to actually build muscle, much less hair or skin or nails or, any other part of their organs that they need to be building. So we just do little bits of protein, and that gets their calories up. And then their fats and their carbs, that just kind of comes natural. They're so satiated with the protein that they're not obsessing about other foods, because protein is just very satiating. When you do it that way, barely do you either gain weight, and some people actually lose weight by adding more calories, because their body's like, oh my gosh, we're fueled, we're getting fuel. We don't have to hold on to this. Because when you're
trust.
Yeah, it's trust. You have to learn, your body has to learn to trust you again. Like when Coryn said, you're eating 1,200 calories, that's a starvation mode. And your body, our DNA does not want us to lose weight. Our DNA wants to keep us surviving. They want to keep us having babies. They want to keep us, around. And your muscle is not going to keep you alive like your heart tissue is, like, your organs are. So if you're starving yourself, it's going to take from your muscle and build those tissues that, to keep you alive, like your heart. Once your body learns, and it takes a little while for your body to like finally trust you, especially if you dieted a lot in the past, or if you've been in a low calorie state in the past, it takes a while for your body. But once it does, our clients report back. Sleeping has gotten so much better. Energy has gotten so much better. Their brain fog is gone. They can start thinking and they're enjoying their foods, and they're not obsessing about what they're eating next.
Their hormones are balanced, their cycles are better. There's so many other things than just weight loss that comes with all of this.
That's what we love to hear back from our people. And then watch the magic happen when they stay in that. That's when all of a sudden the weight loss starts happening, because it's a side effect, not the goal.
Very good and very true. Weight loss should never be our goal so much as, like you said, strength and health. Well, ladies, I have loved this conversations. If a mom is listening to this and what you're saying resonates and things are starting to click in her head, where can she find you? How can she learn more about you two, what you do?
Yeah. So we have a podcast. It's called Her Healthy Body. You can listen it to basically wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find it. And we also have a community Facebook group that is Her Healthy Body as well. If you just go onto Facebook and search the groups, and our website is herhealthybody.co.
That's nice and cohesive all the way around.
And all of
yes, all of those links are going to be in the show notes. Thank you, Coryn and Crysan, for coming on to Time for Mom. I look forward to hopefully maybe even talking to you guys again down the road.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having us, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who's wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with his peace.